Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back and Forth. I'm your host, Gecko Man, and sitting beside me is our co-host, Rogue Gambit, the man who longed for a time when a girl he knew, with an incredible smile and so much good in her heart, made him think life can be great.
You see, I've come to believe that things have to get really, really bad before they can get good.
All right, with those
I made it through.
tear-jerking lines, let's get into this. We're going to be talking about the greatest Spider-Man comic.
In my opinion, it's the greatest comic of all time.
I'll just say it too, even though it's been like the first Spider-Man comic I've read in a long time, it's so far been the most tear-jerking comic I've ever read.
Yeah.
It's good.
So yeah, this is going to be our spoiler-free review of Spider-Man Blue
Yep.
by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Came out 2002 originally. And it's just a 6-issue short story. I want to start by saying one of the things that makes it so great in my eyes is the fact that it is a really good introduction to Spider-Man, because it kind of goes over a lot of his early years pretty quickly, brushes over it.
Yeah.
It talks about concepts and stories that most anybody who's going to get into Spider-Man comics probably already knows, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We probably already know who Peter Parker is, so they don't necessarily need his, story of how he became Spider-Man. They probably already know who MJ is, so they probably don't need to have this big backstory of who MJ is. They probably don't need to have a big backstory of who Gwen Stacy is, Harry Osborn, Norman Osborn. So, like, the main characters have enough of a backstory to draw you into the character, but they don't, bore you with all this extra stuff. But at the same time, somebody who, so that's kind of like who you were, right?
Yeah.
Somebody like me who had read tons of Spider-Man comics before it just makes it even better.
Yeah.
Because you're so invested in the character.
Yeah. And know that also there will be some tears shed over this, but we're going to get through this.
So yeah, what were your first thoughts?
I'll give you my first thoughts when reading the very first issue here. When I first read it, I was a little confused because I had no idea. Like, I thought it was a great start. I loved the beginning of that. But I was confused. I had no idea what we were doing exactly. I didn't know, clearly someone's talking. I didn't know exactly who it was.
Yeah.
But then I kind of got the idea of who it was further down. But I didn't know exactly what was going on. I didn't know if this was supposed to be a story between Spider-Man and a certain very specific villain or something.
Right.
But it's not what we got. But it was it was good. It was a good introductory to the story.
In the first book, it shows. So I'll talk about a lot of stuff in the first book just because it's not really giving anything away.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, and if you've read any Spider-Man comics, you know that a lot of his comics are or all his comics are narrated by himself.
Yeah.
So me going into it, I knew right away that it was Spider-Man talking, right? Because that, if you read any comic, Spider-Man comic, it most likely opens with him talking to you as the reader, to himself, whoever it is, and his internal thoughts. And so, it's Spider-Man talking.
Yeah, we know it's Spider-Man talking. We know he's talking. Does he mention who he's talking to?
It says it gives the implication someone who has read Spider-Man comics knows that he's talking to Gwen Stacy, but he don't think he says Gwen until the end of the first book, or the start of the second, one of the two.
Yeah, I had no idea if it was supposed to be.
Yeah, so he doesn't actually say but he does talk about in a very Batman-esque way. It could very easily be like a villain, because he's talking about him sending him something on Valentine's Day, which is very something that would happen. But I mean, it has happened even in a Spider-Man comic. He gets sent stuff on specific days to make him remember certain sad times. But that's very so it could. I guess in my mind, I always knew it was Gwen, so I kind of assumed he said it.
This is coming from someone who rarely read any Spider-Man comics, and So I was when Gwen was mentioned, my first thought was the fact that it was actually her father, possibly.
Yeah.
But then that didn't really make much sense to me. I've never really known a comic to be like a character who isn't a villain or a hero be talking about it, but it could be. It could be.
So then, as we go through like an overview of it, like you see him fight many different villains, right? So I guess I'll ask you, what do you think of that? Because I want to say how it compared to his original comics. So go ahead.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I can't compare it to his original comics. So what I thought was, one, it was pretty good. Like, we got these quick fights for a story that wasn't really focused on Spider-Man versus a villain.
Right.
And so it was quick fights, quick, easy fights for him. He was able to take them out and do his scientific way of taking them out, which I thought was pretty interesting way of like showing everybody, hey, this is Spider-Man for you.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are, like you said, they're short fights because it is like overview of his original comics. And so each of those fights were multiple issues, if not a whole, like the fight with Vulture's a whole series.
Yeah.
The fight with Craven is
well, yeah, Craven was
3 issue, I think. But yeah, it is very much like his early, probably like 63 to 70 probably.
Okay.
For year 1963 comics, 1970 comics, kind of like an overview of all that time. And so yeah, each fight, but they do a really good job of, I think at least they do a good job of writing it in a way that
you understood what was happening.
Yeah, you understood what was happening without them having to go into too much detail about the characters.
Oh yeah, because I like when the first villain popped up, Green Goblin. That was just a quick overview of it, but like I knew like what was happening. I knew exactly what was going on for someone who hasn't read the original comics. Like I knew what was happening. I knew what had happened with Spider-Man and stuff like that. And it was really interesting. So yeah.
And then another thing I really like is how you can give your thoughts on this, how each book ends with like a mystery until, of course, the last bit even kind of does too. But
so I'll say this: I tried to space out the reading so I could have some time to think about the previous issue. That was difficult for me. I'm telling you this right now.
It makes you want to.
Like I read the first issue and I'm like, I really want to read the next issue, but I want to wait. Take some time to think about it so I can have some thoughts on it. I couldn't wait. I had to break out the second issue.
Yeah.
It was so difficult. And then that happened again when I read the I think it was the 4th issue where I couldn't wait anymore. I was like, I just got to
see the figure.
Yeah.
Like I have to know who that is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they do a really good job with like, yeah, I originally read it on digital form, and I first I'd heard like, oh, this is like a really good Spider-Man, and I had read probably up to the 80s, somewhere in the 80s with Spider-Man at that point, and I was like, do I jump ahead to something in the 2000s? But I had read that it was talking about his earlier stuff, so I'm like, okay, it's not going to spoil anything for me. So I'm like, I'll get the first issue, just like see, and like I read the first issue and immediately bought it. I was like, I have to read this.
Man, yeah, it just pulls you in so graciously. It's good.
All right. So yeah, I talked about the story as a whole. So yeah, it's Spider-Man talking to Gwen and to you as a reader as well, going over, he goes over villains, goes over fights, goes over this time period, and then the last issue is just spectacular. Just like there's some twists, there's some there's like, yeah, just like you get to see who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
Like you've never seen him before.
Yeah.
Like the vulnerability.
he's crying. I'm not crying, but I'm almost there. I'm getting there. Like you see him in his vulnerable state. You see him. What was he talking to? He was talking in a tape recorder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just see him sitting there with a tape recorder and.
So, and I think
moving on.
I think it like really portrays why I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is the best. Stop crying and save some tears for me.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about before we give a full rating of what this is?
It's starting to hit me. Okay. Let's give a full rating. Out of the amount of Marvel comics, because I've read actually quite a bit of X-Men comics, and I can't remember who else I've read, but it was mainly X-Men that I've read. And this Spider-Man comic, this specific one makes me want to read, just start from the beginning and read them all. And not only that, this one just tops possibly every comic I've read.
Would you recommend it to people?
Oh yeah.
Would you recommend it as like a starting? Would you say you probably need to read other stuff first?
I would say it's a good starting. It's a very good starting because you are instantly crying.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So for me, I would definitely recommend it as well. For people who's starting in Spider-Man, the only thing I would say is if you're somebody who doesn't want things spoiled at all, like if you're like me, who's somebody who hates spoilers, just likes to go into things like full with your imagination fully open, I would say just go ahead and start at the start of Spider-Man. His story is incredible. You can read it incredibly quickly. It just draws you in so well. Yeah. But at the same time, it doesn't give away enough for it to be like a terrible place to start. I think it is really good for casual comic readers or avid comic readers. And I would give it 10 out of 10. It is easily my favorite comic.
It is, for me, so far, the best comic out there. I have never cried so much in a comic.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that does it for our Spider-Man Blue review. I know we have a ton to talk about. As we move on to what happened last weekend at San Diego Comic-Con, for me, I'm going to keep it to as little speculation and rumor as possible, just to not make this the longest podcast episode of all time, and save all that for after party, which might be the
longest after party ever.
I'm going to try and keep this to just like what was released, what we do know, and then, of course, answer whatever questions Gecko may have for me. So, do you want to start with... Because I literally have no idea what Star Wars released, so go ahead.
So many things, and so I have just been focusing on Andor, because I'm very, very curious of where they're starting and what's going to be happening in the story. So, I haven't really been focused on any other Star Wars stuff. Going on from that, Andor, oh my goodness. So, we get a look... So, let me go into the trailer a little bit here. First character we see is this man who grabs two hammers and starts banging on this giant bell.
Okay.
In like a rhythmic tone, like as like a ceremony. We learn the title that this man plays. He is called the Time Grappler. I have never heard something like that before, but it sounds like the best job in the world. But yeah, and it's just curious for a trailer to start out with something like that. And we don't even get any sound. All we get is the banging of the bell.
Interesting.
So it's really good. Like the soundtrack in the trailer is so good. Moving on from that, we actually get a look at some Star Wars vehicles that have only been shown in video games. Called an LAAT. A very weirdly shaped ship. It is like a wedge with wings.
Okay.
And think of it like a gunship. The Clone Wars gunship, but it's Imperial gunship. And it's very interesting to think about. Like, we're going to be seeing some interesting Star Wars vehicles in this show. But that goes into the fact, why haven't we seen them before? Where has this stuff been? And all that. I do want to let you all know that, first off, I did get the name of a character and who's playing him. This is Luthen, a rebel commander. He's being played by the guy who played in Thor, like Thor 1, Thor 2, the professor dude.
Yep.
Yeah. So kind of interesting that we're going to be seeing him in the show.
Eric Selvig.
Yeah, Eric Selvig. Other than that, we do get a look at some Imperials who are wearing white uniforms, so they may be under the control of Director Krennic.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing and last thing I'll point out here is we'll get a look possibly at Coruscant. Not exactly sure. I need to do some more research, but I'm going to say it's Coruscant. No, we do actually get a look at Coruscant, and we get a look at the Senate, Senate as well, the Imperial Senate. I've never seen the Imperial Senate, and I really want to see that. So it's going to be interesting to see, and possibly see how Coruscant has changed through the years of the Empire. I'm curious to see that as well.
For sure.
That's about it for Andor. Any questions you have?
So sounds like we didn't get very much of our main character doing stuff.
We do see a bit of Andor. We do get these couple of shots of behind people. We get a shot behind like Mon Mothma, get a shot behind an Imperial officer, another shot behind an Imperial officer. Then we get a shot behind a hooded figure in this storm, just walking. That might be Andor. I'm not sure, but we do get 2 more shots of Andor hiding from Imperials.
Okay.
So that's about it we get. I'm just curious. I'm curious of like what he's going to be doing.
Yeah.
I do have theories about it, which I'll get into in our after.
Do we know who the villain most likely is going to be?
My guess is it's going to be the group of white shirt Imperials who are under Director Krennic.
Okay.
Which would probably explain why we don't see them in the Rogue One movie.
Okay.
So, who knows?
All right. Yeah, I think that's probably all the questions I have. Pretty excited.
Will there be a Jedi?
A month away, right?
No. What?
Basically a month away.
Yeah, August 31st. 2 episodes are being released.
Okay.
So it's apparently become a thing for Star Wars to be releasing 2 episodes.
All right. Anything else you got?
Other than that, I did see kind of a snippet of a trailer for Ahsoka, and we saw live action Sabine. I'm so excited to see that.
All right.
And I do have a theory. Well, actually, we see live action Sabine. You haven't finished Rebels, which I'm still annoyed about. But we see her starting. Basically, we see her standing where Rebels ended.
Mm.
So it's interesting to see. So you need to finish Rebels before we watch Ahsoka.
All right.
Other than that, yeah, it was just Sabine again. The Jedi, the droid again. Mm-hmm. All that stuff. Nothing really new.
Anything about Tales of the Jedi?
Nothing about Tales of the Jedi. I haven't seen anything really.
Okay.
It's kind of just the same stuff.
Anything about Mandalorian?
Nothing new. Like I said, I've been focused on Andor, trying to get everything I can about it. Haven't been too focused on getting the other shows out. I'm waiting until they officially release a trailer for each of them.
Alrighty.
All right, that's about it for Star Wars.
All right. Then we'll get into Marvel, and there is a lot to talk about.
And we still have a lot of time, so you have a lot of time to talk about this stuff.
All right, so I'll start with the animated stuff that was released on Friday.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So we'll start with the thing that's coming out in the most near future, in the nearest future. On August 10th, I Am Groot is getting released.
That's animated?
Yeah, it's going to be animated 6-7 episodes.
Part of the is it part of the MCU or
so the animated universe, it's kind of It's kind of, we don't know how canon it is.
Yeah, but
we know that it's canon to the MCU, but we don't know if it's canon to Earth 616.
Okay.
And what's happening in this universe. But it seems like it's going to be pretty canon. It's like Baby Groot running around doing stuff.
Okay. So
I really like the aesthetic of it.
It's nothing like Rocket and Groot.
No. It does seem like it's going to be very humorous and like directed at like a younger audience, but it also seems like it's like very much knows that it's fun, unlike certain things that came out recently where like they're not sure what they are. So I enjoyed the trailer. I don't think it's going to be like spectacular or anything, but I think it's a really fun watch. I'm a little excited for it, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, it just seems like he's running around.
No other Guardians of the Galaxy with him. It's just Groot.
We only saw Groot.
Okay.
All right, and then let's see. We should probably go into What If. We'll go into What If because that's the next thing coming out. So What If will be coming out next March-ish. We don't know exactly when. It just said spring. So March, April time period probably.
And
give me a second to find my page in my book.
Well, I want to know now. Come on.
All right. So first off, so this will be season 2 of What If. Season 3 is confirmed.
Okay.
The episodes that we know are going to happen are an episode about Hela. We're not sure what if it's Hela like before, if it's like way back when she's with Odin, if it's when she's in Hell, ruling Hell.
But of course, this is going to be in another universe.
Right. So these are all going to be in but yeah, this is going to be a universe with Hela. It could even be Hela is Thor type of thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's what they're going to do.
Then there's going to be Odin versus the Mandarin. So that's going to be pretty cool.
I want to see that now.
Yeah.
That sounds such an epic fight right there.
Yeah. Then we have Captain Carter meets the Winter Soldier. There's also some rumors that there's going to be an episode where Captain Carter fights the Hydra Stomper. We don't know. I don't know if that's the same episode or if they're different episodes. So we know from the first season that, Peggy Carter becomes Captain America. Steve Rogers gets the Hydra Stomper, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there's going to be some sort of world where maybe either Winter Soldier's good and the Hydra Stomper is actually working for Hydra and they have to fight Steve. Or that's what my guess is, something along those lines.
Oh my goodness, that's terrifying.
And then there's a Tony Stark on Sakaar. So there's some images released for that. It looked like Tony Stark was on Sakaar and had to basically build armor out of all the trash on the planet. So it looks kind of interesting. But we don't know too much about that one.
Any more on like maybe zombies or...
Well, we're getting there.
I'm sorry, I'm just curious.
So now the final one that we know about and the one that I want to talk about the most because this is one of my favorite comic runs is we're going to go into the 1602 universe.
I don't know what that is.
So it's on Earth 318.
Okay.
And it's this universe that's modern heroes that are in the years of it started in 1602. That's why it's called 1602. The comic run is called 1602. There's ones with Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier, Captain America. There's a bunch of them, but it's basically set in the past in this other world that's like almost like stuck in the past, and it like brings a lot of like mythical, like Merlin and all that like into it, where like okay, it's real. What I like about it is it really like plays on like you thinking these people are good, but they're in a different universe. Like they're not exactly who you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're like, oh wait, is this person evil? And then it like twists and like, oh, they're actually good. They were just having to do this. So I really like the comics. I like the aesthetic of the comics. I really like the drawing style. It has this like this like eerie green tone to the comics, and if they like really bring that to life, easily going to be my favorite episode. Like they don't even have to like tell a story. Like if it looks as good as the comics look, I'm going to love it. And so I'm very, very excited for that one. I hope it sounded like they might do a couple in that world. Based on it was like the last one that they mentioned, and like and then it seems like people like from it are going to have to like come together again.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we know about that.
All right. Anything else on What If?
So then we're going to get what we know is Marvel Zombies is going to get its own show.
Oh, okay.
Spinning off of What If. But it's like the same. I can't even say universe. They're like different. They're all different universes. But like it is like the Marvel Zombies universe.
Okay.
But it might not be the exact same, apparently.
All right, interesting.
It's not going to be a continuation. Like it could be before, after. It could be very, very different. But it is supposed to be very similar.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, I guess.
That was probably very confusing.
Before you moving off of What If here real fast, I want to talk, if I could talk real fast, I completely forgot about this. I can't believe I did.
Go ahead.
But it's Star Wars Visions. We all know that Star Wars Visions is getting a season 2. I don't know if I ever told what they plan to do for season 2. So apparently Star Wars is reaching out to new creators in different countries, not just anime Japanese style. They're reaching out to like studios across the world just to see about making some stuff like this. So I'm really excited to see some of the stories that are created through this. We may get, I do know that a comic was made off of a lot of the Star Wars stuff that was in the first season, but yeah, I completely forgot about that. And I've known this for like, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks now. So kind of crazy. So moving on. What else about Marvel?
All right. So we know they've released a lot about Marvel Zombies. It's supposed to come out, I think, winter. Like it's supposed to be like one of the first things released in 2024.
Oh.
Yeah. So we know quite a bit. We know that here's who are confirmed to be zombies from our heroes in Earth 616. Or characters, I guess they're not all heroes. So there's Hawkeye, Captain America, Abomination, Ghost, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Okoye, and Icarus. That's a freaking powerful team.
Yeah.
We have Icarus, who's an Eternal, Captain America, of course, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Ghost is Abomination, all so powerful.
Like,
and then we got, of course, Hawkeye and Okoye, who are the hand-to-hand combatants.
Yeah, well, they're not important. I'm sorry. But, like, do we know of any of the survivors?
So, yeah, there's the survivors that we know about.
I'm so scared to hear this because we just already met the most powerful team.
So, Yelena Belova.
Oh, that's dead. I'm just going to mark them off.
Katie from Shang-Chi.
Dead.
Shang-Chi.
He might be able to.
Kate Bishop.
Oh, that's a toughie because trained by Hawkeye. I'm going to say dead.
Red Guardian.
Oh, I don't know much about him. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's the father of Yelena and what's her face? Natasha.
I don't know much about
so he's has similar powers to Captain America, so should be pretty evenly matched there. But yeah, there's Abominations. Jimmy Woo.
I'm sorry, who?
Jimmy Woo. He's the FBI agent guy. I'm super excited to see him in animated depiction of him. But yeah, he's not bringing too much.
Dead.
Death Dealer. Not the Death Keeper. I know that's what you're thinking. Death Dealer is I don't know much about them, but they're a anti-hero in the comics. That's all I really know. And they're
Dead.
They're pretty magically powerful.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
And Kamala Khan. So our hero team's looking a bit raggedy, but those are just what are confirmed. There could be, so in the What If episode, right, we had Spider-Man,
Spider-Man, Wasp,
Winter Soldier,
Hulk.
So there's others that we don't know if they're going to be in there, but
we even had Okoye.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to think about.
Black Panther. Oh no, Black Panther was a zombie.
No, Black Panther was alive. His leg was gone.
Oh, that's right.
It was fed to Wanda.
Yeah. This might be a what? I'm not sure. I wasn't sure because I wasn't able to, of course, watch the panel. I was having to watch tweets going out.
Yeah.
And so they were like, some of them were out of order, so I couldn't tell if this one was about What If or the Marvel Zombies. But what they said was the Avengers team is going to be Captain Carter, Black Widow, Iron Man, Thor, Hawkeye, and Wasp. So I think since Hawkeye is in both the Zombies and the Avengers team, I'm guessing this is for What If, not for the Marvel Zombies. So it's like what the final team's going to be that like comes together for whatever threat they have to face at the end. Yeah. So that's what we got for What If and Marvel Zombies. I feel like there was.
I'm just pointing this out right now.
We got looks at like what some of them were going to look like and stuff.
Ooh.
Very interesting. Very interesting. It all looked very similar.
To What If
animation style. Yeah. Yeah.
So our hero team is dead.
See the Marvel Zombies. Oh, that's what I need to say about Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies is going to be rated TVMA. So it's going to be the first R-rated thing announced that Disney Plus is making. And I am kind of excited to see is the R-rated Marvel Zombies show.
Here's the thing about this. It's Disney and...
But it is still like an R rating has to carry something, right? They're not just going to give R rating to what normal people would give like PG-13. So too, in my opinion, maybe they will, but like I'm sure it will be Disneyified in a bit way, but it
might be Disneyified by the animation if they
right.
So, all right, what's next?
Okay.
I think we've had enough of zombies and the weak team that's going to be fighting against them.
So we'll go to. Oh, yeah, I was actually supposed to do this before Marvel Zombies, but that's okay, because it's more important.
Oh, I'm sorry.
X-Men 97.
Oh, I'm so excited.
This is coming out next fall of 2023.
Man, I really need to catch up on the X-Men show then.
You got a year to do it. So first thing, they're reordering the episodes on Disney Plus to put them in the chronological order.
Any news on when that might happen? Or?
I feel like they said. Oh, I should have written that down. I think it's supposed to be right around Disney D23, so like September.
If I may say, I feel like I saw an article saying that X-Men had already been done.
Oh, okay. Maybe it has already been done. I just know in the tweet it was said something around D23, so I thought they were about the same thing, but maybe not.
Okay. We could double check that.
We know the original cast and voices are coming back for the most part, so that's really exciting.
Oh, wow.
The theme, they said, of the whole show is going to be why do we need the X-Men?
Really?
Now, this leads me to something that just got announced today that is very interesting for what's going on with the X-Men in our live-action universe, and I think why they decided to make this show. So when they got the rights to the X-Men, they actually only got the rights to the versions of the X-Men that were already in movies. That's why they can release a Deadpool, because that's already been made. That's why they could have Professor Xavier as played by the guy who plays him. I'm blanking on his name until 2025, and that's when they can do whatever they want. So I think because of that, they're allowed to do this X-Men 97 show since it's animated, so that's very different. And so I think they're doing this to like introduce us to the X-Men without, especially to like newer fans, that might not have watched this or even some of the old X-Men films. It's like introduce us to the X-Men in the way that they're allowed to. That's probably also why one of the reasons they made Kamala Khan an X-Men, and so that they could start bringing these X-Men in. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that with Namor, make him a mutant, since he is a mutant in the comics. You can't say that because he's not in any of those old movies, so they're allowed to use him right now.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Right. So I just found that out today, and I was like, mind blown. This is why they're doing the X-Men 97, which I'm totally for. I love X-Men 90 show, and I'm super excited. But anyways, back to, and because they said the theme was why we need the X-Men, it almost like reinforces that. Like they're actually saying like this is why.
I'm so excited for X-Men.
So we got a ton of looks at how each person's gonna look, how the teams are gonna look, how the villains are gonna look.
Any looks on how the animation's gonna be?
Yeah, it's very similar, of course. It's beautiful. The colors are just so vibrant, just pop. The looks of each character very similar, but they're
different.
They're slightly different. So here, I'll start giving you the heroes and the villains here.
Oh yes, please.
We get some new ones that weren't in the originals, and we got some changes. So
wait, what?
So
well, I guess I haven't
from
seen
the original.
The show, so.
Right, we got Rogue, Beast, Gambit. Gray, Wolverine. Sorry, I wanted that to sink in that we're getting Rogue and Gambit there. Jean, Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, Jubilee, Cable. So that team was like the original, right? That was the original team that we had. The other side characters that showed up that are coming back are Cable, Bishop, Forge, and Morph.
Morph.
New characters that are coming that we know of are Nightcrawler, who was not in the original.
Really?
And Sunspot, who's not in the original. There's rumors that I won't really get into, but Iceman is a rumor. Kitty Pryde's a rumor. So there are other ones that we don't know about yet that are, pretty big members of the team. Now here's the big one. Magneto is the leader of the X-Men.
I'm sorry, what? Hold on, I'm just on the first season.
Right. So by the end, he's not the leader, but it doesn't really give away what happens. But as you know, Charles Xavier and Magneto right now aren't with the X-Men, right?
You finished the show.
I know. I'm saying no. In the first season, right? They're off in the Savage Lands. What? That's the third episode.
Are they? I feel like they haven't gone anywhere yet. Charles Xavier is still with the X-Men right here.
Okay, maybe you're not as far along as I thought, but anyways, by the end, this isn't really giving anything away. But at the end of the show, Charles Xavier is in space. He's not dead or anything. He's just in space doing stuff. I won't tell you what's going on, but. So that's why Magneto will start this as the leader of the X-Men.
Okay, well, I need to watch it. I need to finish the show.
You need to finish it. The villains that we know about are Sebastian Shaw, Emma Frost, Calypso, Val Cooper, and Mr. Sinister. So I don't know what... I know you probably met... I met
Magneto.
Val Cooper and Calypso. So you've met the... what are they called? The people that live in the sewers.
Yes. I just actually that's the last episode.
The leader with the eye patch.
Yeah.
So that's Calypso. Val Cooper. I don't remember when you meet her, but you meet her. Emma Frost. You know who she is, right?
I know who Emma Frost is. I just haven't seen her.
Yeah, she's not in as far as I can recall. It's been a while since I've watched all of it, but I don't think she's in any of the show. And then Mr. Sinister is the main villain of the show. I don't know when you meet him. So I
haven't met him yet. I've only been. I just like I said. I just finished the episode where we met the Calypso down in the sewers. So
why can't I think of the Morlocks? The Morlocks. That's what they're called.
The Morlocks.
So yeah. Super excited. Magneto looks very interesting. They're going with this look of his. I'm trying to remember what comic it's from, but it's very different from his normal look.
Really.
And I'm okay with it. it's kind of weird because like everybody has such bright colors, like I said, and then he's in this like really dark color with a giant white M on his chest, and it's like,
Magneto, what have you done?
So yeah, I'm
right.
definitely interested also with bringing in an animated X-Men. They have a lot of things that they can toy around with in stories. I wouldn't be surprised if they toyed around with like introducing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch as his children or whatever, to see like how people took that, if they're like, wait, that's not how it is in the movies, and because I think in the movies they could even still say that we don't know exactly where they came from. And as you'll learn later when I talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a certain character is coming which has a lot to do with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So
why would you do this?
we'll talk about that later. All right. So that's what I've got for X-Men 90. Oh, no, that's not all I got. And a season 2 is confirmed for X-Men 97.
Already?
Yeah.
It hasn't even been released. This is amazing.
And they released so much stuff. Like I said, this is going to be a lot. All right.
Moving
Anything
on.
else? Any questions you got about that?
You'll
probably have questions once you watch more of the show, which you need to watch.
No, I know. I need to watch it. Listen, at some point, we should just talk about X-Men when X-Men 97 come out or close to it.
Or once you finish it, we'll just like have a little sit down, little chat. For you guys to listen to.
Yeah, a little chat about us.
So we'll get to what I'm the most excited about, but is the furthest away. It's coming out, I believe, summer or fall of 2024. And this is Spider-Man Freshman Year.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Really fast question here. You'll probably answer this. You probably have answers, but confirmation on it's confirmed to be in the MCU.
So this, like I said, where it's really confusing about where the animation lines up with live action.
Okay.
Originally, and like on the stream I was watching, they even like looked back at the Marvel tweets because they're like, because when we're seeing all these photos of what it's going to look like, they're like, this is impossible to be in the MCU. Like, this can't be canon with Earth 616. But when we looked at the original tweets, or they looked at the original tweets, they said it was going to be canon. But then we look at the tweets now and they're not acting like it's going to be canon. So I don't know if it's... But they also did have tweets saying that it's supposed to be depicting Tom Holland's Spider-Man before Homecoming.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We don't know about any of this, where it exactly falls. Hopefully that will be cleared up at D23.
Yeah.
Because we're probably going to get some more announcements, maybe even a trailer for some of these. I'm guessing we'll get a trailer for What If Season 2. And since that's the same as Marvel Zombies in a lot of the ways, they're going to be doing them together, and it seems, same studios and everything. We might get a trailer for that, and then I will probably get one for 97, and hopefully that'll clear some stuff up.
Okay.
But right now, yeah, I don't know, and like nobody does. It's kind of it's very annoying. What we do have confirmed. Well, let's see, where should we start? We'll start with the villains and get to the more exciting stuff later.
Okay.
But the villains that we know are going to be in it are Unicorn, Scorpion, Speed Demon.
I'm sorry, just Unicorn?
Tarantula, Rhino, and Doc Ock.
Doc Ock.
So yeah, a lot of the well-known, but also some less well-known. So Unicorn is like this lady who
has a unicorn.
No,
Where's a unicorn?
In the comics, she has like a headdress that has like a horn. And she has like, she's like super strong.
And has a pet unicorn.
Yeah, and the way she looked, like she didn't have actually a horn coming out of her head, which was nice. But yeah, she just looked like a really muscular woman. I don't know exactly how they're going to depict her either, but she's just like very one-off villain in the comics. So I don't know very much about her.
Real fast though, if this is MCU connected, 616,
then
Doc Ock,
some crazy stuff is going on.
Yeah, Doc Ock.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like things like Doc Ock showing up would be because in No Way Home he doesn't know who Doc Ock is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what makes me think it can't be in the same. And something else I'm going to get to later, which you're going to be insanely excited about. So. So the way I want to go into how they look. So Unicorn, yes. Speed Demon, looks like they're going to be, it's going to be slightly different from the comics, where it's this guy with mechanical legs that make him run really fast.
Okay, and Speed Demon is... I don't know very much of Speed Demon.
I don't either.
Really?
I don't think I've read a single comic with him in it. I just recognized him when I saw the lineup. I was like, oh, that's Speed Demon. So
okay.
I probably have read a comic with him, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Tarantula.
I
don't know anything about.
Do you know if these are going to be like big villains? Possibly, maybe just.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
So Tarantula, don't know much about. I know that they're supposed to have like some Spider-Man type powers, but I'm not sure exactly.
I do know that in the old Spider-Man TV show, the 90s TV show, there was a character who that was Tarantula.
No.
Oh.
But I think they were based off of Tarantula. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly which one came first. Okay. But I know they're supposed to be similar.
Okay. Maybe they're going to, and
then, of course, Scorpion, Rhino, and Doc Ock we all know about.
Yeah.
What I want to say is they look incredible. Doc Ock looks like he was literally taken out of the comics. The colors,
no
all of
way.
It. Rhino looks really good.
Does Rhino look like he's been...
Yeah, like Rhino's undergone a lot of changes throughout the comics. He definitely looks like a lot of it looked like early
would you say
Spider-Man
these
comics.
three characters look like, all of them look like they've been taken out of the comic, even Scorpion?
Doc Ock, definitely the most. Rhino did as well. They didn't try to make him how in Amazing Spider-Man, how he looks like super like cut, like fit, muscular.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
In the comics, he's this chubby, really big, chubby guy. And they definitely he looks a lot like the original chubbier version rather than this like ripped dude. And then Scorpion looked very much like how the comics.
Okay.
And then Harry Osborn's confirmed. Norman Osborn's confirmed.
That brings more questions in.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just give me a sec. Amadeus Choi is confirmed. Which people are probably like, who the heck are you talking about? Amadeus Choi is...
Hold on, I want to take a guess who this is. I think I know who this is. He? Oh, damn it. Okay, then I may be completely wrong.
Oh, I know who you were thinking of. No, it's not the police.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was going to
be... oh my gosh, I'm not going to remember her name. But no, that's not who it is. Amadeus Choi is a student who is friends with Spider-Man, who is experimenting with gamma stuff to help Hulk, and ends up turning himself into a version of Hulk as well.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what his Hulk name. I think it's just Hulk. Amadeus Choi Hulk. I don't remember.
Still so many questions.
Bentley Whitman. Don't really know much about him. Daredevil. Charlie Cox is voicing Daredevil.
Oh.
Now, getting into how Spider-Man looks. First of all, Peter Parker looks amazing. Like he's out of the face, the glasses, all of it looks so good. The costumes, so there's like gonna be they showed 4 costumes that he'll be wearing. All of them straight out of the comics, except his like low-tech one that he's gonna start with. Never seen anything like it, but it is incredible.
Does
he
it look
literally
like...
has like his web shooters. I'm going to try and get photos of everything I can up on the video on YouTube with this, but he literally has like his web shooters that have hoses going to a canister of web fluid on his back.
What?
Yeah, it looks so good.
Like,
it literally looks like something hobbled together by a teenager, and oh my goodness.
I really want to see this.
I'm really excited to see that, but I'm also excited to see like him like the progression. Yeah. So now here comes the kicker. They released a couple of stills from it, and some of them got leaked, some got released, but one of the ones that was released at Comic-Con was a picture of Norman Osborn in his living room talking to Aunt May that was literally a shot straight out of Civil War when Tony Stark does that. So my thoughts are it's not canon, and this is a world where Norman Osborn takes on a role very similar. Okay, I don't want to get into rumors too much, but very similarly to Tony Stark. And so all of his tech he's getting for his suit is from Norman Osborn, but then he's going to have to end up fighting Norman Osborn at the end.
Oh my.
I know, right?
What was that? Well, I'm just...
Now, there's a ton of rumors with this that we'll get into later.
I am befuddled.
But that is what we know right now. Those are who we know is going to be in it. I'll try to add pictures so you guys can see what everything's going to look like. And yeah, it looks amazing. I might be more excited for this than any other Marvel thing coming out, except for maybe X-Men 97. But
oh my god!
And we haven't even got to live action. And sorry, this is going to be so long, but I warned you. All right. Anything else you want to ask me about? Oh, and confirmed sophomore year is coming.
No questions. I just want to keep it like.
All right, so moving on to live action things. So this will come out Saturday.
Stinking time.
First thing coming out that we know about is She-Hulk. We got another trailer for it, and since San Diego Comic-Con, we've got another one. But this is what's confirmed that we know.
Any villain?
So we know Abomination's going to be in it. We already knew that, though, from the first trailer, but we saw more of him. We know that she's going to be that Jessica Walters, a.k.a. She-Hulk, is going to be representing Abomination in a trial, Neil Blonsky. We know that she's going to be representing a lot of heroes. We know Wong is going to be involved in a lot, and the newest trailer confirmed that he's going to be in it a lot. We know that Titania is going to be one of the villains. We got to look at the Wrecking Crew finally. Oh. Like I said, I kind of annoyed that they're not going to have them be like the main villains because they're really well done villains in the comics and the other TV shows. But that's okay. We know that's going to be 9 episodes. We know that, of course, Bruce Banner is going to be in it as Hulk. I don't know what that says. Can't read my own writing. But the trailer that was released at Comic-Con ends with a look at Charlie Cox's Daredevil in his yellow and red suit.
No way.
So he's in the suit that he originally had in the comics. It's, of course, a rendition of it that looks very similar to his red suit from the TV show, Daredevil. But we get our first look at what he's going to look like, and he looked fantastic.
This is exciting.
So, yeah, if you have any questions, I mean, I've seen all the trailers.
I'm just more excited for Daredevil more than anything.
Yeah, like, for me, where I'm at, like, excitement level, I'm very excited for Daredevil. I don't think I'm going to really... It's like, they literally said, like... So she breaks the fourth wall, like I've said before, and in the trailer she does it a couple times. In the latest trailer, she literally says, this basically says that this TV show is going to be like a Law
and Order?
A courtroom drama mixed with superheroes. And, like, I'm not a big fan of courtroom dramas, so we'll see.
Joy.
I didn't really like the way that they used her fourth wall breaking in the trailer so far, so I don't know if I'm going to like that either. That could just be, like, get really old really quick for me. But
okay.
I definitely am excited for Daredevil and other rumors that we'll get into. But yeah, moving on. All right, so we're going to go to Wakanda Forever. So that's the next thing.
Trailer released finally?
Yeah, we got our first trailer.
I'm so excited for Namor.
we got our first look at Namor.
We did?
Yeah. We got a lot of looks at Namor.
Wait, really? I was expecting...
Yeah,
I was kind of expecting you to say that we barely saw
and, like,
Namor.
he was up on the stage, like the actor was. So we got to see almost all the actors were there. The actors playing Riri Williams, Shuri, Okoye, M'Baku, they all were there. Most of them were in the trailer.
So how does he look? I'm just curious.
He looks.
Does he look good? Does he look?
He looks.
I'm not talking about the actor.
He looks unique, very different. I like it personally. I like his look. I like they took a lot of the aspects from the comics and had them there, but they also gave it a little spin since we know that they're changing his backstory a little bit from being in the Pacific East Pacific or whatever to being near Central America, and being more of like Aztec origin. So since they're changing that, they had to change a lot of his look to look more like that, which I was fine with. I think it looks good. I really like the way it was a good trailer in my opinion, a good first trailer. I hope that they don't reveal too much in future trailers, because it definitely, well, first of all, it was very sad. Like, they definitely were like playing upon like the death of T'Challa in the MCU, and just like the impact it's had.
I've had enough tears for today.
Right? So for me, like, I really enjoyed Black Panther and really enjoyed Chadwick Boseman portraying him. I wasn't a huge fan of the movie Black Panther, mainly because of the third act, but I like they played it so well. I'm excited to see where they go.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, got any questions? Because
I mean, confirmed villain, probably not.
So that's where, like what I've said before, there's a ton of we'll talk about that in rumors.
Yeah.
I mean, we do see that Namor in Atlantis will be fighting Wakanda. So we know that's happening. Who's going to be the actual villain? We don't necessarily know yet.
Okay. Well, that's about it.
Oh, we do get to see Riri Williams in Ironheart. We don't get to see her in her armor, but we do get to see a very like similar parallel of like when Iron Man's making his Mark 1 of him, like, with the hammer banging on the thing.
Really?
There's a very similar like her doing that, which is kind of cool. We also get to see her in Wakanda, so that's kind of interesting. To see her like talking to Shuri.
So is it going to be like a Wakandan-based armor, you think?
No. Okay. Well, I do think it'll have vibranium components for sure.
Okay.
I think vibranium's going to have a big part to do with it, but we'll talk about that in rumors.
All right. Moving on.
I know what you're all thinking. Wait, Rogan, you didn't say anything about how it ended, but that's because I don't want to spoil it for a little guy over there.
I'm not little.
I don't want to spoil that for Gecko Man. I know he's not watching the trailer, so yes, we did see that. I saw it. I didn't miss it, but I don't want to say.
I'm going to try so hard to stay away from anything Wakanda forever.
All right. So moving on to the next thing coming out, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Nothing. Absolutely. Oh, speaking of which, coming out even before that, Werewolf by Night. Nothing.
What?
Yeah, nothing about Werewolf by Night. Nothing about the holiday special. I'm guessing those will be coming at Disney Plus Day at D23. But I'm like, I want to see something about that.
Yeah, I want to see something about Werewolf by Night. Come on.
So nothing about that. But then we get into next year, and speaking of which, Wakanda Forever is ending Phase 4. So Phase 4 goes from.
I thought Phase 4 already ended.
Yeah, it was supposedly supposed to end at Thor: Love and Thunder, but She-Hulk and Wakanda Forever are going to be the end of it.
Okay.
And so then starting the first movie is going to be Quantumania. Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania. Now, the trailer for that was not released to the general public, but it was played at San Diego Comic-Con.
Really?
Yeah. So I have tried to see as much of it as I can that was leaked. I have tried to watch as many videos people like wrote their synopsis of it, and that was allowed to be released and stuff. So I have some information, but not a ton of information on it.
What do you know?
So here's what we do know. MODOK confirmed.
MODOK.
Kang confirmed. Bill Murray will be playing a villain. We don't know what villain yet. There's a couple, based on what he looked like apparently in the trailer, there's some rumors. I can't remember the name. I had never heard of the character, but he's some like quantum-based villain. So those are like our 3 villains that are confirmed.
Really?
Confirmed that a ton of it is taking place in the quantum realm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is very much so Quantumania. Like, it's not, we're on Earth, we travel to quantum realm for the last act or whatever. It sounds like a lot of it's going to be in the quantum realm.
It better be. If that's what I'm understanding correctly.
And then the other big release thing is Cassie, his daughter, is being recast. Catherine Newton is playing her. The only thing I think I've ever seen her in is Pikachu, Detective Pikachu. She plays in that. She plays the main girl. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing I've seen her in. I mean, she did fine in that. I don't have any problems with it really. Like the fact that she grew up, right? There's this 5-year gap.
Yeah.
I think the person that played her in Endgame was fine, but I don't think it's like I needed her back or anything. So I don't really care about that. But they released a poster, and in the poster she is wearing a suit like the Wasp, very similar. So not sure exactly what they're doing with her. I know in the comics, I haven't read any Ant-Man comics, but what I do know from the comics is she does have a suit like him. She has a lot more like the growing to gigantic size. I can't remember what she's called, like Stinger or Stagger or something.
Stagger?
I think it was like Stagger or something like that. But anyway, she like can grow like Ant-Man, and I think she has similar Wasp powers too, where she can shoot little beams and stuff. But
okay,
so that's interesting. So what I have been leaked about the trailer that won't give anything away too big is there's like it seems like at the start they're going to be having dinner with Hank Pym and his wife, and then Cassie's going to get sucked into the quantum realm, and then they're going to have to go find her.
Okay.
There's a lot of voice of like King talking and like so like throughout the whole trailer apparently there was a lot of him just like talking, and so that's kind of cool because he's like talking to Scott Lang basically, and we don't know if this is a scene where they're going to talk or if it's just like if he's more of a narrator, and he does say he's King the Conqueror at one point.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
Because like Scott Lang says something like, I'm an Avenger, and he's like, well, I'm a conqueror, or something like that.
Oh my goodness, I want to see it so bad.
So yeah,
I wish I had a time machine.
I think that's all I've got for that. Like I said, stuff about that is still getting leaked. The trailer, I don't know if they're going to save the trailer all the way. So basically why they said they're not releasing the trailer to the general public right now, they like have it, but it's not the visual effects aren't fully done yet. So like the people who watch are like, yeah, it's probably good that they didn't release it to the general public.
Yeah.
But it could be coming pretty soon. I'm guessing they won't do it till D23, but it could come early. I wouldn't be surprised if it came earlier than that. Just because they have released it and like so much stuff's been leaked about it. Just with that in the past when that's happened, they have just got ahead of it and released it. So that's what we know about that.
Yeah, if you guys haven't
tons and tons of rumors about that too, we'll be talking about in the after party. But we need to move on.
Yeah, we need to get out of here.
So, next movie coming out is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Once again, trailer released that we couldn't see. So this is once again going to be rumors or like things that were leaked that I tried to see as much as I could. First thing I want to say is on stage was James Gunn, director, and a ton of the cast, including a new cast member that we did not know was going to be in this, that we'll get into in a second. But James Gunn, one of the first things he said was, some stories end, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to die. So,
I've had enough tears for today.
On top of that, the cast when talking was very, very emotional. Like Chris Pratt, I listened to what he had to say, got leaked, and he was super emotional about it. It's been rumored that Drax is going to die for a long time, and I think it's going to be some stories are going to end. I think some are going to continue. I think we're going to get a new Guardians of the Galaxy team come. I don't think we're going to get any more Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but we got a Nova rumor. We have stuff where I think the cosmic entities are going to team up. I do think they'll have leaders like Peter Quill, I think will survive. Gamora, I think will survive. But
well, yeah, because Gamora isn't Gamora. This is a different Gamora.
So we'll get into that a little bit.
You think
so? Gamora's in it. She at the start of the movie, in the start of the trailer, was revealed as the leader of the Ravagers. She has like climbed up the ranks really quick and taken over as leader of the Ravagers, which makes sense, right? She's a very powerful woman.
Yeah,
and the version of her is a lot more ruthless, and so that makes sense that she would quickly climb the ranks, and take over. Adam Warlock was there, the actor that's playing him. He's confirmed 100%. Cosmo shows up.
No way.
He's being voiced though by Maria Baklava. So that's interesting. I've never seen her in anything, but it is weird that Cosmo's being voiced by a woman. I don't care. He's a pretty easy character to have be whatever gender they want because he's a dog.
Yeah.
In the comics, he is a male, but yeah. So they are changing that. I don't have a problem. I don't know anything about her. So I don't think I've ever seen her in anything. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we get a look at Cosmo in a previous Guardians of the Galaxy
movie. Oh, yeah, there's a shot of him in the Collectors.
Yeah.
So that does make sense that he would escape when Thanos kind of wrecked it.
Yeah.
And
so excited for Cosmo.
The most exciting part is we've got our villain, the High Evolutionary.
I'm sorry, the High Evolutionary?
Being played by... You're going to try not to butcher this name, which I will butcher. Chakwadi Iwaji.
I have no idea who that is.
I don't either.
The High Evolutionary.
I looked him up.
I know very little about him, but I do know he's like a big deal.
Yeah, so here's... So the High Evolutionary. He is, first of all, in the comics, he is the one... So in the comics, he experiments on animals to try and make them more humanoid.
Yeah.
He's basically banished for that, goes to this other place, calls it like Earth 2. I don't remember. He like recreates Earth on this other place where he can do his experiments. He's the one, though, that experiments on Wanda and Pietro that's under their powers. So that's where that's what I was saying, ties into them. We don't know what they're doing with that, if they'll touch on that at all, though. But what also, he's the one who creates Rocket Raccoon. Now, there's a rumor, or there's confirmed baby Rocket Raccoon's going to be in it. So I think that this story is going to be telling Rocket Raccoon's story. How he, he's talked about being experimented on, how he didn't ask to be the way he is, all that. They're going to go into his story, and that's how they're going to get with the High Evolutionary. I think Rocket will probably end up having to sacrifice himself at the end. That's who I think is going to die. But those are all rumors. We don't need to talk about that. But what is confirmed? High Evolutionary, baby Rocket Raccoon.
Let's move on.
We also confirmed Groot is in it. We haven't talked about him. Drax is in it.
Mantis,
Nebula, Groot. They said there was a part where he's more mature, filled out, bigger, all that. So we'll see an even older version of Groot. There are some other people. The guy the Ravager that has the fin now, whatever his name is, shows up.
Oh.
A lot of the other Ravagers show up. So yeah, a lot of people coming back. Some new people. I'm actually very excited for this movie. I think I've loved Rocket so far. He's been one of my favorite character arcs. I don't love him as a character. He's kind of an arrogant jerk.
Yeah.
But his character arc has been spectacular. I've loved seeing him grow. Exploring him, I think, is going to be a really good idea. Moving on. Oh, Adam Warlock. He apparently has the spot in his head for the Soul Stone. So we know the Soul Stone was destroyed. So it's not going to be. We don't know if it's going to be in his head. We don't know what they're going to do with that. But the spot is in his forehead for the Soul Stone, like he has in the comics. Don't know what to do with that information, but that's what we know.
Do you think the Infinity Stones could return?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Due to this entity creating stuff, experimenting?
So, that...
All right, moving on.
...is what... So that was all that was released. Now the only other stuff that was released was what is coming. So I'm just going to quickly overview everything else that was said.
Yeah.
All right, so after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is coming out May 5th of 2023, Echo will be coming out in the summer. We do know that, of course, Daredevil will be in that, but that's about all we know besides it being about Echo. Loki Season 2 will also be coming in summer of 2023. I thought we were going to get some first looks and stuff at that I would be able to find links on. I haven't been able to. I've heard rumors. I'll keep digging. The Marvels coming out July 28th, 2023. Nothing on that. Like, I don't even think they had the actors there for it, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Ironheart is coming up next fall. We'll talk about that more in After Party. Blade, confirmed for November 2023. Agatha, Coven of Chaos, is coming winter of 2023/2024. So I don't know if it's going to be right around Christmas time into the next year, or if it's going to come out in 2 sections. I don't know, but they said winter 2023/2024. Daredevil, Born Again. That's what I write. Daredevil is coming spring 2024. Captain America, New World Order is coming May 3rd, 2024. Thunderbolts movie coming July 26th, 2024. And that's going to be all of Phase 5, except Is It? We'll be talking about that in After Party. Now, that's Phase 5 that will then lead into Phase 6. I can't see.
What is it?
And wrap up the next Avengers saga, which is going to be called Avengers Multiverse Saga. And that's going to go into, and all we got for Phase 6 is Fantastic Four coming November 2024. And then we've got the 2 Avengers movie that are going to be called Avengers Kang Dynasty coming July 2025. And ending with Avengers Secret Wars coming November 2025.
Oh my goodness.
Now, there's some more TV shows, of course, that you're like, hey, why didn't you mention that? We will be mentioning those. I guess I can say that Secret Invasion will be coming spring of 2023, though we didn't get to mention. And yeah, a lot of the other stuff I will be mentioning After Party because it's technically not confirmed and is rumor. Secret Invasion, I guess I should mention about Secret Invasion. It's supposed to be a thriller. There was more on it. I'm trying to find as much as I can. Stuff was leaked about it. But yeah, everybody said it's supposed to be this like mystery sprite thriller. You're not going to know who's a Kree, who's a Skrull, and who's a human, or something like that. Like, it's supposed to be super mystery thriller, twists and turns. So that's interesting. But
all right,
I'm going to keep digging, trying to find as much as I can for you guys, and catch all my rumors in the After Party. What's coming out for
for Back and Forth? So, of course, tomorrow we have Thursday. We have
Friday.
We have a stream coming. Continuous.
Stream. Yes.
Thursday stream. We're coming. We're coming for going for continuing the story of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So stay tuned for that tomorrow at 6. It's going to be probably just another hour-long stream. But other than that, Friday we're getting the After Party. Going to be a long one, very long one. I have a lot to talk about. I know Rogue Gambit over here has a lot to talk about. Other than that, what are we doing next week?
So next week we're going to stay on our Spider-Man train, and we are going to give you a review of what I think is the greatest comic video game, Spider-Man for the PS4.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that because it is coming to PC for all you PC gamers out there.
And I cannot wait. We mentioned that last week, and I am so excited to play this again.
Yeah, it's a great game. More about that later.
We will see y'all next week.
Don't put yourselves inside a box.